They're encountering basic gut-level rock and roll for the first time. This concert with the Ramones may look like an extravaganza, but it's actually being held in the jammed basement of a third-rate New York hotel.
Well, King's Row belongs to punk rockers. King's Row belongs to punks!
An extreme element of new wave is what is called punk, a British phenomenon. Punk bands and their followers symbolize by their appearance the idle, frustrated, and hostile youth of the British working class. Punk bands took the vitality of American groups and added a blatantly political message. The punks didn't catch on in America, although bands like the Sex Pistols did make a mark. They were the most publicized because of Sid Vicious. Vicious was arrested in connection with the death of his girlfriend, and he died weeks after from a drug overdose. To many, punk symbolized violence, the dreadful possibility of riot which has always seemed to cling to rock and roll. Whether at a post-war concert by Bill Haley and the Comets, or the tragedy 2 weeks ago at a Who concert in Cincinnati. Even when the deaths and injuries were caused not by the music, but by the crush of fans trying to get into the concert hall. The punk movement has subsided, but the key remaining representative is the Clash.
Clash are certainly very important. Clash came along in the wake of the Sex Pistols. They were one of the original punk bands. The whole punk thing is more an attitude than anything else. But it's just a very straight-ahead, almost violent message. They're a tremendously vital, exciting live band.
To see the Clash is exciting, even crazy. They're singing, "We're a garage band." The garage is where there are no slick studio sounds, big money, record contracts, or publicity. They'll even die for the cause.
Americans have forgotten what rock and roll is about, and so that's what we're doing here. We're trying to remind them.
It ain't about playing the right chord for a start.
If punk ain't about playing the right chords, what is it? It's anger, energy, politics. In fact, many of the chords they do play are those of reggae, the syncopated third world liberation music, essentially from the Caribbean. Reggae is replacing punk as a dominant influence in British new wave music. New wave means loud rock and roll dance band like the Ramones. It means the angry punk politics of the Clash, and it also means a sort of intellectual art rock typified by the Talking Heads.
I think we get called intellectual or cerebral or whatever. Probably just because our words and the way we dress and whatnot is a little different than the rock stereotype.
I mean, I would hate to be thought that we didn't think about things, you know, but I think that our music is really meant to be felt as much as anything.
What is felt is more than a dance beat. Talking Heads are as deliberately provocative as other new wave groups. Their songs express what they think modern life is all about, absurdity and paranoia. This one's called Psycho Killer.
I can't seem to face up to the facts. Tense and nervous, and I can't relax. Can't sleep, bed's on fire. Don't touch me, I'm a real live liar. Psycho killer,
To the Talking Heads, the noise of the new wave is experimental music.
I think that noise has become being included in music ever since, you know, all in classical music. Beethoven might have been considered noise to Mozart. The fact that it's pop music is a great thing to stop it from becoming too much noise.
We are fainting, we are blind. I hate people when they're not polite. Psycho killer.
To the record industry, this noise is beginning to be big business.
Our job as a record company is to find the new talent and find the stars of tomorrow. And if this area of new wave music is a fertile field, we're going to record it and make it available to the public. And of course, this is where the stars of the 1980s are going to come from.
I wish people would only come see us at clubs, and that we could just forget about trying to reach the most people. I think that records are pretty good.
Unfortunately,
but
that doesn't work because the record company just can't stand the idea of a band with all this critical acclaim and all that only playing in clubs where, my goodness, only 500 people can see you at a time. You should be on a tour, they say, where you know, you can get at least 2,000 people a hit.
This ain't no party, this ain't no disco, this ain't no fooling around.
And so the final component of new wave is commercial success. The artists are being absorbed into the very thing they rebelled against, the big-time record and film industry. Robert Stigwood, no slouch when it comes to betting on music trends, remember Saturday Night Fever, is making his next movie a new wave movie, Times Square. This scene is set to Talking Heads' Life During Wartime. What's next? It might not be Klaus Nomi singing a futurist opera. The language is his own invention, but you never know. One thing New Wave proves is that there's always something going on you don't know about, whether it's in the 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s.
Thank you, Tom. That may seem like pretty weird stuff, but I think we should remember those 21-year-old lyrics from Danny and the Juniors. I don't care what people say, rock and roll is here to stay. 2020 continues in a moment.